He sat there in the rain, completely still, a black and white street cat, soaking wet, staring at nothing. Most people would have walked right past him, but something in his eyes stopped me. It wasn't just fear, it was exhaustion, like he had been fighting for so long that he forgot what it felt like to rest. And in that moment, I made a decision. I didn't know it yet, but this cat was about to change everything I thought I knew about trust. His name is Shadow. At least, that's what I started calling him. He never told me his real name. Street cats don't do that. They don't trust humans enough to let them get that close. And Shadow, he had every reason not to trust anyone. His fur was matted, his ears were torn, and he had scars that told stories I didn't want to imagine. But the worst part wasn't his appearance. It was the way he looked at me, like he was waiting for me to hurt him. The first time I left food out for him, he didn't touch it. He just watched from a distance, hidden behind a broken fence. I sat there for almost an hour, waiting, hoping he would come closer, but he didn't. So I left the food and walked away. The next morning, the bowl was empty. And that's how it started. Every day, I would leave food. Every day, he would wait until I was gone before eating it. For weeks, we played this game, me trying to show him I wasn't a threat, him refusing to believe me. But here's the thing about patience. It's not just about waiting, it's about showing up every single day, rain or shine. Even when it feels like nothing is changing, even when you start to wonder if it's worth it. Because the truth is, trust isn't built in a moment, it's built in 1,000 small moments. And Shadow was teaching me that lesson one day at a time. Then, one morning, something shifted. I put the food down like always, but this time I didn't leave. I sat down on the ground, about 10 feet away, and just waited. Shadow appeared from his usual hiding spot. He looked at me. I looked at him. Neither of us moved, and for the first time, he didn't run. He took one step forward, then another. My heart was pounding so hard I thought he could hear it. He reached the bowl, looked at me one more time, and started eating. Right there, while I was watching. It felt like winning the lottery. After that, things moved faster. He started showing up earlier. He stayed longer. Sometimes he would sit in the yard after eating, just watching the world go by. I built him a small shelter near the back fence. Nothing fancy, just a wooden box with a soft blanket inside and a roof to keep the rain out. The first night, he didn't use it. The second night, he circled it 3 times before walking away. But on the third night, I checked the camera I had hidden nearby, and there he was, curled up inside, finally out of the cold. Now, if you're still watching this, you're probably the kind of person who believes animals deserve a second chance. And if that's you, I think you'll love what happens next. So maybe hit that subscribe button, because Shadow's story is just getting started. I'm a carpenter by trade, so building things is what I do. But building something for Shadow felt different. It wasn't just about making a shelter. It was about creating a space where he could feel safe. So I went all in. I built him not 1, but 3 different houses, each one with heating pads that turn on automatically when the temperature drops. Each one with a camera inside so I could check on him without disturbing him. One even has a skylight so he can watch the stars at night. People think I'm crazy. Maybe I am. But when you see a creature who has been abandoned by the world and you have the ability to give them something better, how can you not? Shadow's daily routine became something I looked forward to. He'd show up around 6 a.m., eat breakfast, and then patrol the yard like he owned the place. And honestly, he did. Other cats started showing up too, strays from the neighborhood. And here's what amazed me. Shadow never chased them away. He'd walk up to them, sniff them, and then just sit nearby, like he was welcoming them. It was almost like he remembered what it felt like to be alone, and he didn't want anyone else to feel that way. But despite all this progress, there was still one thing Shadow wouldn't let me do. Touch him. every time I reached out, he would pull back. Not aggressively, just away. And I respected that because I realized something important. This wasn't about me. It wasn't about what I wanted. It was about what he needed. And what he needed was time. Time to heal. Time to believe that not every hand that reaches for you is going to hurt you. We think Shadow is around 7 or 8 years old. He's probably the father of half the black and white cats in this neighborhood. He's got that look, that quiet authority. The other cats seem to know it too. They don't challenge him. They just coexist. And in a way, he's become the guardian of this little corner of the world. Then, about 3 months ago, something incredible happened. I was sitting on the back steps, and Shadow walked up to me, closer than he ever had before. I held up my hand, not to pet him, just to see what he would do. And he sniffed it. For the first time in almost 2 years, he let me into his space. My eyes watered. I'm not ashamed to admit it. Because in that moment, I realized something. Shadow had been teaching me all along. Teaching me that love isn't about possession. It's about presence. It's about showing up day after day, even when you get nothing in return. Shadow spends most of his time in the yard. He's got his houses, his heated beds, his safe space. Sometimes he ventures into the storage shed where I keep extra supplies. He's got a corner in there too, with blankets and toys he's never once played with. But he's content. And more importantly, he's alive. Thriving even. Against all odds. Every time I see him, I'm reminded of something. We live in a world that moves so fast. A world that tells us if something doesn't give us immediate results, it's not worth our time. But Shadow taught me the opposite. He taught me that some things are worth waiting for. Some connections take time. And some of the most meaningful relationships in our lives are the ones we have to earn. So, here's my question for you. Have you ever met someone, human or animal, who changed the way you see the world? Someone who taught you that patience isn't weakness, but strength? Because I'd love to hear your story.